Hey, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 23rd of May, 2023. So a nice, beautiful number, 230523. Yeah, guys, welcome, everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we continue, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll disappear here from that little left corner in there, and I'll give you some time to read the rest, and we can continue after that. Okay, so also just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, always you can reach out to us, and yep, we'll be happy to help you out. Now, so now then, guys, jumping into the charts. Oh, by the way, I can see there in the chat room, Mustafa Sepahi. Good morning. Good morning to you too. Good morning to everybody else who's joining in as well. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful start of Tuesday. But yeah, guys, welcome. I hope you have some time to spend with me today. We're gonna go through a bunch of instruments. Normally, these are the instruments that I go through all the time. So, or at least you can see those, but they do change occasionally because just to see if there's any interesting setups building up in different instruments. But yeah, guys, normally what I do here is I go through indices, then commodities, then cryptos, and then I jump into currencies. So yeah, if you have any particular one in mind, you can always take a look at this list. Normally, like I said, that's the one that I go through. In this session, this is what I'm going to go through. Now, Nikkei 225, guys, let's start. Basically, we continue to trade above this territory. I spoke about this previously. We continue to trade above this highlighted zone right here. This was one of my key resistance barriers, which I was aiming for initially, and yeah, we managed to hit that. We managed to overcome that as well, and now we're seeing a bit of a retracement. Now, in general, Nikkei showed good performance. We got some good preliminary manufacturing and services PMI data from Japan and Australia as well, but I'll get to that in a bit. So Japan, yep, came out, we showed very good results there. Manufacturing and services PMIs, preliminary ones, by the way. So yep, they've managed to beat forecasts, not to mention the previous readings as well. So good potential here. However, okay, look, in general, we already had quite a decent up move. So, you know, I would say the fact that we got some good preliminary data, that's fine, that's good, but I think that this might stay right now somewhere like that because we had that good rally. At some point, I'm actually considering maybe a bit of a retracement here, but for me, the retracement could come somewhere on the breakup below this highlighted zone right here, which is roughly between the 30,663 and 720 levels. Also, my favorite Fibonacci level. Now, this is the tricky bit, where to draw it from. Maybe from here. Well, that could be the case. So, for example, if it's this way, then let me just adjust this. This is one My colleague keeps likes it this way. Okay, he always amends these the way it looks basically. Yeah. So look, if we do draw it this way, then maybe we do have some room here, a nice room for a move towards that 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci, which is roughly around that 30,160 zone. Now, will that be the case? Okay, could be an interesting one, but probably I will start looking at that if we drop below this highlighted zone. Now, if we do draw this Fibonacci somewhere from around here, okay, we can, we can keep that as well, but we have to stick to something. One, I would personally probably stick to either this or really like a very short-term version here, since we had that rally. And this 23, you can see that, for example, when we do have this nice area of support around that 23.6, and we also are near my highlighted zone here. So basically, look, I think that this Fibonacci level becomes a little bit subjective, so maybe I'll stick to something like this just out of curiosity. I'm not going to rely on it too much, but mainly I'm going to stick to my levels here. So for the downside, I need to see a drop back below the 30,000, the area between the 30,663 and 720, somewhere around here. For the upside, I need to see a push above the above this barrier right here. So let me just put this back. There we go. Above this 31,358 level, approximately around here. This is the current highest point of May. So now then, jumping into ASX 200, guys. So the index here showed good results. In a way, I would say it was showing good results, but in general, we're still above all of the EMAs here on my daily chart. That's great. However, we're stuck in this formation, in this triangle formation. So we're below this downside line, but we're still above this upside one. So in other words, we're kind of coiling up. So we need to see some exits here. And yes, we got some good preliminary data, PMI data from Australia as well. Also managed to beat the forecasts, and okay, all good, nice and dandy. But in general, looking from this picture here, from the technical picture, I would rather wait for a push above the 7,315 territory right here, and then we could go from there. Now, if we do get that breakout here, then yes, in a way, this could also maybe just, this is me running a theory by you, but maybe we have ourselves a nice little bullish flag here. We have our pole, we have our little correction here right now. It could still retrace, for example, somewhere to this 50-day EMA, and if it holds, another rebound here could be possible. So let's keep an eye on that one, but mainly let's keep an eye on that 7,315 territory. For the downside, as I said before, as I said yesterday, I need to see a break of this upside line, and maybe, just maybe, an additional break below this 7,215 territory as well. Nikkei. I talked already about Nikkei. Nifty 50, the India's Nifty 50 index. Look, we're having a bit of a moment here. I think that we're kind of ranging, or starting to range. Previously I said to you that, hey, keep your eyes on this potential idea of a head and shoulders pattern, but the thing is that this is already way too big for a right shoulder, so we're just moving higher, and I'm keeping an eye on this highlighted territory right here, between the 18,483 and 518 levels, approximately around there, guys. If we do clear that, then yes, I'll go higher, because this will confirm a forthcoming higher high and potentially may attract more buying interest into the game here. Now, for the downside, I'm taking a very conservative approach, and I'm waiting for a drop below the 18,075 territory right here. I get it. Maybe you're looking at some levels around here. Okay, could be. Well, for example, one of the levels from the short-term perspective could be this one, the 18,324, for example. If we fall below it, this may open the door to some lower levels, but then, yeah, keep your eyes on this 18,245. So this is basically if you're looking for something a little bit short-term. Nasdaq. So, okay, yesterday Nasdaq and the S&P were the best performers in a way out of the top three in the U.S. Dow was the kind of a bit of a loser, but hey, it's okay. In general, look, it's still not really the most exciting right now. I mean, because okay, we did get that move already. So I was talking about this range previously, if you remember. I talked about something like that. Not this, but this range here, we cleared it. That was exciting. That was great. We cleared the upper side. We moved higher. Now we're just kind of trying to find some logic here and maybe in some further moves higher. Yeah, well, let's put it this way. I have drawn this Fibonacci, and this Fibonacci is taken from the highest point of November of 2021 and drawn all the way to the lowest point of October of 2022. So we've done the 50% retracement. It seems like we're maybe on track to do the 61.8. Well, will that be the case? I would say for now, I think that, yeah, there is some potential for some upside. Now, the interesting bit with the whole kind of debt ceiling, I mean, the debt ceiling show, look, for now, the market, I think, is in kind of also with me, and I'm with the market with the idea that it's a little bit of a show. I mean, U.S. has a lot to lose if it kind of does not reach a deal. And as always, it's going to be like a last minute one, and that they're going to show that how well they've, negotiated. Although yesterday they also negotiated and, yeah, they didn't reach anything. So I think that, yeah, they will drag it all the way maybe to the 1st of June or something like that. Although everybody's kind of, pointing towards Friday. But yeah, look, let's not rush into anything. Of course, for now, I think that the market might stay, even though with this uncertainty, this uncertain environment, maybe, just maybe, the market might stay actually on the positive side. It's like denying the whole issue, and or let's say sticking to the point that actually they will reach a deal, and that's why we could see some more upside here. Now, with this more upside, what's interesting here as well is that okay, even if we continue to go to grind higher, this little thing is alive again. So look, I've mentioned this yesterday as well. We were kind of around 9% here for a hike, for a 25 basis point hike. Now, I think that given that the market is a little bit on the positive side, I think that this is what's bringing the probability of the 25 basis point increase during the 14th of June meeting a little bit higher here. So, and in a way, the higher the indices will go, I think that the higher this probability will go too. But again, let's wait and see. We live right now through some interesting, moments. Well, to be honest, it's never a dull moment in the market. Oh, sorry. Sometimes there is. Sometimes when we're ranging like on DAX, but I'll get to DAX in a bit. Anyway, so coming back to this picture here, look, for the upside, what I would like to see here is a push above the 13,960 territory, a nice good move above it, and if the index stays above it, then yes, further moves higher could be possible. For the downside, I would actually like to see it drop below this upside line here, and then yes, more sellers could join in. Until then, if we do see a bit of a retracement here or something like that, I'm just going to observe the price action. I'm not really going to do anything about it. My main scenarios for the upside and the downside are from these territories that I've just mentioned. The Dow Jones Industrial Average. Okay, this one's a little bit boring. Well, this is where I'm going to contradict myself by saying that markets are never dull. No, they are sometimes. And in this case here, Dow is a little bit on the dull side. So if you're looking for some higher levels on this one, I would say a push above the 33,732 territory is needed. For the downside, a drop below the 33,000 mark here is required. That's it. That's my game plan. Honestly, I'm not going to really try to squeeze anything out of this. That's what I'm going to stick to for now. If we get closer to one of my levels here, now that's when maybe it'll get a little bit more interesting for me. At this point, I'm just observing the price action. Now then, the German index, DAX. Okay, look, we after we clear the upper side of the range right here, this one, yeah, we moved higher. We moved nicely to the upside, but hey, we've reached one of my levels here. We formed this kind of this all-time high again, and the question now for me is, can we see a further move in north? Well, this is where I've mentioned this yesterday, and I've jumped into a monthly chart, and I said to you guys, look, if we do stay above this territory right here on the monthly candle, then yes, maybe we could see some more upside here, potentially traveling to the upper side of this possible rising channel pattern. Now, again, if that's the case, okay, you know, more upside could be possible. But coming back to the daily chart here, some of you are also thinking maybe this is a nice double. Actually, let's jump back to monthly double top formation, and in a way it could be as well. But you have to wait for some confirmation breaks. So for me, for example, if I start seeing this one moving back below this 16,000 territory somewhere around here, this might be the cue for the bears to step in, and maybe we'll see a nice move lower here, guys. So let's keep an eye on, continue monitoring this. For now, like I said, it could still be the bulls game here, but I think that maybe from the shorter term perspective, what you could do here is keep your eyes on this, the current highest point of May near the 16,374 territory right here. If we clear that, then yes, I will go higher towards the upper side of that potential idea of a rising channel. Now, the dollar index. So after we found good resistance near the 200-day EMA, we retraced, and now we're kind of, you know, stuck here in between the 100 and the 200-day EMAs. Now, what could we do next? Well, to be honest, I think that we would have to just play the waiting game, because at this point, if we do want to clear, if we do want to go higher, we need to see a clearance of this 103.49 territory, or actually maybe this 200-day EMA, which is around that 103.55 level, approximately around there. If we clear that, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and more buyers could join in. For the downside, a drop below the 102.74 territory is required. Simple as that, guys. So yeah, oh, by the way, in terms of economic data, let's say from the US today, we do have the preliminary manufacturing and services PMI numbers that are coming out. So let's see how that's going to show up, because at the moment the expectation is for a bit of a decline. New home sales are also coming out, so something to kind of and building permits as well, so something to kind of stick to, you know, and monitor for today. In terms of UK also we do, and Europe, by the way, we also have the preliminary manufacturing and services PMI numbers that are coming out today. So just kind of keep an eye on the calendar. Maybe we could see a bit of fluctuation if you're trading, for example, something like the euro dollar, or the GBPUSD. So, you know, maybe we could see some nice activity there. So jumping into gold very quickly, guys, declined nicely. Look, this is what I talked about. I said to you that if we do fall below the 1977 territory right here, my next target is the 1969, and maybe going further south. Well, and also this 50-day EMA held nicely as well. So this is what I was mentioning yesterday in my morning video. So we held the downside line here, held nicely. The 50-day EMA held nicely. So in general, all this area provided strong resistance, and we saw a nice decline. Now, where we can go next? Well, to be honest, I'm kind of leaning still towards the downside, and my next target is the 1949 or in a way 50 actually, this 50 territory, or slightly below that we do have the 1945 territory around that 100-day EMA here, shown as the green line, and then we'll go from there. For the upside, I would like to see a clearance of this downside line. This upside line can go away, I think, now. And if we do clear the downside line at the same time, we could clear the 50-day EMA, and potentially more buyers could join in. But at the moment, I think the buyers are just observing the price action, not waiting for their moment to step in, because for now, the bears are dictating the rules, I think. Silver. So again, still waiting, not much to talk about here, but still the same game plan is valid. I need to see a drop below this highlighted territory right here. That's roughly between the 23.5257 levels. If we do get that and we stay below it, then yes, I will aim further south towards the 200-day EMA or even the 22.82 level. For the upside, basically the area right here, this one that we are watching here, that I'm watching here, the 24.6373 level, in between the 24.6373 levels, this could be a good target, but in order to aim for that target, I think that for me, a push above the 24.16 territory somewhere here is needed, because at the same time, we would jump above the 50-day EMA and we would be placed above all of our EMAs on our daily chart, and then we could start shifting our attention towards this higher levels here. But at this point, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside. So let's see if we can get a move all the way here towards that 200-day EMA. Now let's jump into oil, guys. Okay, so oil jumped yesterday. It rebounded nicely from this upside line. So far, my idea of an ascending triangle pattern here is working out. So let's see if it's going to continue working. But although this could be seen as a positive indication, because these patterns tend to break to the upside here, still a confirmation break is needed, because in a way, we have seen this happening in the opposite direction, where an ascending triangle breaks to the downside. So that's why I want to be a little bit more on the safe side. If we do push through that 74 territory right here and we push above the 50-day EMA, then yes, more buyers could join in here. So long story short, in order for me to go lower, excuse me, I need to see at least a break of this upside line, the lower side of the of this ascending triangle pattern. In general, the market, I think that the oil market is feeling a little bit more positive, just because of the whole kind of debt ceiling situation. Because again, as I said in the beginning, the market seems to be like excluding the option of the default, and because again, the US has a lot to lose, so that's why in a way it's not really scaring anybody. So it's just kind of okay, if it happens, then we will react accordingly. But at this point, I think that yes, the market is just playing still the bulls are in control, and I think that it might stay like that, for now, unless they start, like I said, coming closer to the deadline, and then scaring everybody that they're still struggling to reach a deal. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out, of course. But somehow I don't. I just see all that as a nice, beautiful show in order to maybe spook the markets a little bit. But hey, we'll see. Now then, Bitcoin, jumping into Bitcoin, guys, very quickly. A few adjustments have to be made here. First of all, this upside line, which I talked about previously, and I kind of talked about it as a possible neckline. It didn't really work out. You have to remove it. Need to start looking at this fresh. Basically, for the downside, I would like to see a nice good drop below this 26,550 territory, because as you can see, this area is providing good support. At the same time, if we fall below that area, we could fall below the 100-day EMA, and this could open the door towards that 200-day EMA right here, not far from these levels that I have highlighted. This is my downside scenario target. If we do drop below the 26,550 territory, then yes, I will go lower. Now, in terms of the upside, I need to see a break of this downside line, and then only then I will start considering some higher levels. All this area right here is just neutral for me, and I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Bitcoin Cash, a few adjustments have to be made, and I think that it's time to... because these trend lines here that I've drawn here, and I told you previously that these are tentative, don't really focus on that too much. So actually, I think we can refresh everything and redo everything. And I think that what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw this downside line for now. So this downside line, and yep, just bear with me. There we go. Oh, why there's an arrow here? Normal. There we go. So basically this downside line for now is doing a good job and kind of showing the direction, but we are struggling with some further declines on this one. So in other words, if you're looking for some lower levels on BCHUSD, then I think that a break of below a certain key support levels is needed. So basically, to be a little bit more on the safe side, I think that a drop below the 107 territory could start, could open the door towards some lower levels, but then a drop below the 105 level here might do the trick for a few more sellers. Now, from the shorter term perspective, I would like to see a drop below the 112.89 zone right here. If we do get that drop, then yes, I will aim a little bit lower here towards these levels right there. So this is my simple approach for BCHUSD. For the upside, as with Bitcoin, also a break of this downside line is needed in order to shift our attention towards the 200-day EMA. AUDJPY, guys. Okay, so we had a good, beautiful move here. I talked about this yesterday in my morning video. I've picked up on this pair, and I said to you that if we stay somewhere above this 91.32 territory, I will consider something like that. Boom. Perfect. Beautiful move. Mission accomplished anyway. Because look, although I have a target here at 92.42, actually, no. If we do see, let's say, the instrument moving closer to the certain level, if it's not hitting it exactly, honestly, take your profits, enjoy the moment. You did good, even though if it's not exactly hitting your level. So, be a little bit less greedy and just take what you can get. Look, in terms of further upside, a push above that 92.42 level is required because a nice good break above that would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and more buyers could join in here, and we could see a move towards that upper side of the potential idea here of a rising channel. Now, in terms of the downside within the channel, I think that the best option here is to look at something around here, around that 91.32 territory, which I previously talked about. Now it could take the role again of support, and if we do clear that, I will aim for slightly lower levels. Now, NZDUSD, guys. So the big day is coming up tonight. Check out the economic calendar, guys. RBNZ are set to deliver an interest rate decision. Look, during the last meeting, the forecast was for a 25 basis points. What they did, they came out with 50. That was a bit of a surprise. The market didn't expect that, but okay. Now the question is actually what's going to happen further. I mean, will we get another, let's say 20, will we get a 25 basis point, or actually maybe, this is where an idea ran through my head. Maybe they've, did the hike for 50 basis point last time, and now this time, for example, they will stick to maybe the Fed idea of not raising any rates this time and just kind of come out with zero increase. And then the question is, okay, what's going to happen here? So basically, we could see some maybe activity here to the downside on NZDUSD. So if there is a 0% increase, 0 basis point increase, we could see maybe this this pair, for example, falling off the cliff a little bit. Now, if you remember previously when I covered this pair, I said to you that, look, we are from around the beginning of March, we have been trading, we're forming these higher lows. We're struggling with the higher highs because we can draw a flat line here, which is around that 0.6390 level. So as you understood, now this is my barrier for the upside. So if we want to go higher, in a way, there is still potential for the upside, as long as we stay above all of the EMAs on my daily chart here. However, given the significance of the data that's coming out, the news that's coming out, so that's why I would say if it would be just normal trading day, then yes, I would continue aiming to the upside. But given that it's the rate announcement, well, that's going to be an interesting moment to watch. And in a way, we could see, we could see some choppiness here. So just kind of prepare yourself for that. But at this point, look, I'm just observing this one. And to be honest, I think that this might remain flat like that until we get the news, surrounding the interest rate decision. But again, let's wait and see. Let's see what's going to happen here, but yeah, it could be quite interesting. If we do start falling and stay below all the EMAs here, then yes, I will consider a move much lower. And NZDCHF, this one's also interesting because this one's looking quite positive in a way, because for me, this is looking like a nice ascending triangle pattern, something like that. But as you can also previously, when I talked about this, I said to you that, look, let me just put this around here. Let's highlight that this way. There we go. So basically what I said to you before, that I would like to see a nice good clearance of this territory, and I would like to see the body of the daily candle staying above this area, above the 0.5664. If we do get that move and we stay above it, then yes, I will go further north, guys. For now, I'm just observing the price action, waiting for the news to come out, and then I'll do something about it. But until then, yep, nothing. Nothing. In terms of the downside, this is where I need to draw my arrow here, this way. If we do break this upside line, yes, I'm going to go lower. I'm going to aim for, and this is where I need to adjust this level. I think I'm going to aim for this little target around here. The low of the 12th of May, near the 0.5548 territory. If we do clear this upside line, that's what I'm going to start aiming for. Why? Because I want to see if this is not going to end up being something of a range of some sort. But again, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here a little bit. But either way, guys, maybe this could be seen as a nice little range. So let's wait and see. Let me just adjust this very quickly. There we go. There we go. So this way, yep, there it looks much nicer. Now, NZDJPY, just a very quick one here. Also good result here. After we broke my barrier here, the 85.91 zone, we traveled higher. My next target was the 87.35, and this is what I said to you, that if we clear that one, then I'll go further north. Now, this level here, as you can see here, maybe that doesn't really carry the most significance, but somehow this is the highest point of April of 2022. I do have these levels here as well, like the highest point of September of 2022, and I also have the highest point of December 2022. So in a way, if we do clear that 87.35 level, I'll go towards the 87.88 first. Then if that gets cleared, I'll go towards the 88.40. And these are going to be my steps towards the upside. In terms of the downside, I'm taking a very conservative approach, and I'm waiting for a drop somewhere below this 85.90 territory in order to consider some moves lower. This upside line here could be a nice one to watch as well. But to be honest, it nicely coincides with my level right here, with my target, the 85.90. And that's why I need to see a clearance of that level. So, but because if we do clear this level, maybe we'll also get, well, most likely we'll also get a break of this upside line. So, but for now, there is still hope that higher levels could be met. But a confirmation push above a 87.35 level is required. USDJPY. So yesterday, beautiful retracement. Look at this rebound. And look, I said to you yesterday that my downside scenario is going to come if we do see a good drop below this 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci, and we didn't get that. Instead we got a reversal, pushed higher, but I said to you that my upside scenario will be from here. It will be from this 137.90, sorry, not 137, 138. Let me just mark this very quickly. This is the fib, and let me just grab a line. So basically, yeah, my target here for the upside is 138.75. So if we do clear that one, this is where I will get a little bit more excited with the upside, because I do understand we were there already above that level today. But again, if we do push again above this area, above this territory, then I will aim for the upside. So that's my game plan, because again, I don't want this to start to see as a range, because again, somehow it's giving me that indication that we could start a range of some sort here. But let's wait for the data to come out. Different data, by the way. Let's see which one is going to push it out of this potential range now. USDCHF. Look, I've talked about this previously, and I told you about this kind of coiling idea that it's getting into a bit of a squeeze. Now then we got a push higher. We moved the upside. We broke the downside line, but we also managed to stay above it. But the next day we drifted back down. So you always have to kind of keep an eye on the next day as well, because again, if we do have a tendency to retest the broken trend lines from the other side, and this was one of those cases. But in this case, actually, the bulls were not able to maintain their leadership, and the bears jumped in, and now we're back into this coiling mode, because the bears are also struggling here, because I think that the bulls are fighting very, very hard. So long story short, once again, if we do push above this 0.9008 level, somewhere around here, which coincides currently nicely with the 50-day EMA, then yes, I will go further. I will go to the upside again. For the downside, well, I would need to see a break of this upside line again, because we only got a tease here. We got a false breakout. So if we do get that nice good drop below this area, then yes, I will go lower. Quick update on the US dollar against Mexican peso. I've mentioned this as well. Yesterday, I said to you that, look, keep your eyes on this downside line together with the 17.90 territory. If that provides good resistance, another decline here could be possible. So far, it's providing good resistance. Can we see a break? Can we see a breakout here? There is a possibility, of course, but I think that yes, certain criteria has to be met first. So for me, that's the break of this downside line, a push above yesterday's high, and a push above the 50-day EMA. And we need to stay above all that. Not only a break, not only like a false breakout, but we need to stay above that. And if we do stay above that, then yes, further moves north here could be possible towards the 100-day EMA, and then so on and so on. GBPUSD. So yeah, as I said, keep your eyes on some data today. We do get the preliminary services, manufacturing, and composite PMI numbers from UK. At the moment, look, the forecast is for a slight drop apart from the manufacturing, I think. Yep. So everything is kind of pointing towards some lower numbers, but let's wait and see. Let's not over speculate on this one. Previously, I talked about this 1.2435 territory and this 50-day EMA. Well, we started oscillating around those. So for now, my question is, what can we do here? How we can approach this? Well, I think that the easier option is to keep your eyes, continue monitoring that 50-day EMA. And if we do continue to trade below it, then yes, this may attract more bears into the field here, where they could drag the pair towards the 100-day EMA. For the upside, I need to see a push above this 1.2546 territory right here, and then yes, we could go higher. GBPUSD, something that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on because of the RBNZ interest rate decision. So for now, yes, it looks a little bit more bearish than bullish, but I need to see a nice good drop below that 100-day EMA, because as you can see, we fell below 1.9792 territory, but we're kind of now back to it. It's not really carrying much significance, so the 100-day EMA is doing that job. It's carrying more significance, so that's why I would like to see a nice good drop below this 100-day EMA in order to go further south. In terms of the upside, a push back above the 50-day EMA could do the trick for a few more buyers. EURCHF. So this one's interesting because look, my chart has frozen. So let me just have a sip of tea, and I'll wait until my kind of chart unfreezes. But with the EURCHF here, if you remember, I talked about this, and I have drawn a falling wedge. I'll wait until it loads up here, because we're currently in a falling wedge. And yesterday, I said to you that, look, if we do break below the lower side of the falling wedge, this one right here, and we stay below it, then that's where the bears could step in, and we could see this one drifting further south. Now, what we got here is a nice false breakout, a breakout through the lower side of this falling wedge, and also a drop below the 0.9706 territory. So we have fallen below all that, but we quickly pushed higher, and we pushed and we stayed above that, above this area, above this territory. This means that maybe actually the bulls are not really willing to give up this idea of a falling wedge and kind of actually drag it back up. Now, again, I'm not going to rush into anything. What I'm going to do here is, from the short-term perspective, I'm going to stick to something around here, the 0.9723. If that gets cleared, I will aim a little bit higher towards some of these levels right there. In terms of the upside, let's say further upside here, of course, a break of the upper side of the falling wedge is required. But until then, I mean, you're thinking, hey, I don't want to miss out maybe this territory. So look, that's why you can keep an eye on this barrier, the 0.9723, which acted as a good area of resistance on Monday. So if we do clear it, then yeah, I will go a little bit to the upside. But if it starts clearing the lower side of this falling wedge, now that's where, yeah, I'll scrap the whole idea of the falling wedge, and then I'll just aim lower. EURGBP, long time no see. Again, for now, this idea, I've drawn this previously. I said to you that as long as this downside line continues to provide resistance, we will aim lower. However, I need to see a nice good drop below the 0.8676 territory, somewhere around here, in order to go further south. We keep getting these false little breakouts, but we're struggling with a further move lower. So long story short, if you are looking for some downside, then yes, a drop below the 0.8676 territory is required. And then we will go and aim for our 0.8646 territory right here. 0.8676, that's what I'm keeping an eye for the downside here. And then I'll target this level, only this level for now. For the upside, I need to see a break of this downside line and a push up of the highlighted territory right here, which is roughly between the 0.87 and 1928 levels. EURNZD. So another one that I'm keeping close eye on, like with GBPUSD and GBPNZD. So this downside line so far is doing a good job. We're getting that hold up. So that's all picture perfect, I would say, but we're struggling with this territory right here, this 1.7134. Oh, sorry, not 34, 30 is 77, 1.7177, because that's a good area of support. That's the low of the 5th of April, or in other words, the lowest point of April. So the lowest point of April so far is doing a good job, providing good support. This Fibonacci here no longer needed. I think, yep, needs to go. This upside scenario, well, this is where the tricky bit comes in. Now, ideally, I would like to see a break of this downside line and a push higher, and we could see that in a way, but we do have the 100 and the 50-day EMAs here that could provide that resistance. So that's why I'm not rushing into anything yet. So for the upside, I would like to see a break of this downside line. Then I'll aim for the 100 and the 200 and the 50-day EMAs. For the downside, a drop below the 1.7177 territory could be great. And also a drop below the 200-day EMA could open the door towards some lower levels. Look, we have this downside line as well, which may kind of, provide a floor in here. So yeah, I would say be careful and only aim until here for now. And finally, EURUSD. So far so good. I would say yes, we're oscillating around the 100-day EMA, so maybe not the most exciting, but in general, we are still below the downside line. We're below this 1.0848 territory. If we continue to trade here below this, all this here, then yes, another decline here could be possible. But if we start pushing back up, we climb and stay above the 1.0848 and we push back up, then we could retest this downside line here. And then the question is actually, can we see a breakout? Well, my upside scenarios from around here, from around this 1.0905, this is my kind of safe bet, or sorry, I should say safer bet. So then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with some higher levels if we do push above this territory right here. But for now, given that we are still below the downside line, we're still struggling with this 100-day EMA, so maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible, or retracement, sorry, back down, move back down here towards that 1.0760, a break of which would confirm a forthcoming lower low and could open the door towards this upside line taken from the low of the 21st of November, which coincides nicely with the 200-day EMA. Look at how well a lot of things are kind of matching and, ending up being very significant, not very maybe, but significant enough. So yeah, let's see if this can be done. So yeah, guys, that's it for this session, guys. I will have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening. This was a very quick one today. Hopefully you found this useful, and I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your rockets, your comments, everything. So thank you very much. I'll just leave another massive a comment here. Thank you. Just because again, thank you very much for joining in. That honestly means a lot to me. So if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time, we'll have a look at some of these instruments, some new ones. Of course, we'll have a look at the NZD pairs, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, guys, so have a nice trading day. Don't overtrade. Have your stop losses in place and risk only what you can afford to lose, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Uh-oh, you just broke a digital image cursing us all to 7 years of market volatility. Undo by subscribing to our channel.